Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this Perth County Council meeting for Thursday, September the 4th. I'm Warden Doug Kellum and officially call this meeting to order. Ask the clerk to note the starting time as 9 a.m. At this time, if you could bow your heads for a moment of reflection. Thank you. We acknowledge that Perth County is situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe, who have a long-standing relationship with the land and water throughout the region. We honor and respect the history, languages, and culture of the diverse, Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit people who call this territory home. As a county, we have a responsibility for reconciliation and continued stewardship of the land on which we live and work. Moving on, does anyone have any pecuniary interest to declare at this time? Seeing none, if it does arise, please do so throughout the day. Confirmation of the agenda. Any additions for today's agenda? Seeing none, motion that reads that the September 4th, 2025 agenda be approved. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Deputy Warden Trentowski. All those in favor? And that is carried. For the consent agenda, with the County Council minutes from August 7th, 2025, are there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, motion that reads that the Council approves the August 7th, 2025 Council minutes. Moved by Councillor Wilhelm, second by Councillor McKenzie. All those in favor? And that is carried. On our agenda, item 8, staff reports. We'll start with 8.1, corporate services. Welcome, Betty Jo.
Thank you, Warden, and good morning, Council and staff. So the report from the archives today is an activities update for Council's information and to seek approval for its submission to the MSSC meeting in 2 weeks. I would like to highlight a few items. We had a busy and productive summer responding to requests for reference and research services from municipalities and community members. Archive staff collaborated with our colleagues at Stratford Perth Museum to support a number of their upcoming projects exploring Black history in Perth County. Another 40,000 pages from nearly 5,000 issues of local newspapers were scanned and prepped to be uploaded to the archives database, newspaper database. And staff and students completed the annual inspection and deep cleaning of the archives collections room in June, with only one of the thousands of boxes inspected requiring a bit of follow-up. Public outreach efforts like the recent display at the cultural pop-up event History Alive in Stratford, and of course newspaper articles and website blog posts are ongoing. And so with that, I will thank you all for your time this morning, and through you, Warden Kellum, be happy to answer any questions or respond to any comments that you may have about the report.
Thank you for the report, Betty Jo. Colleagues, any questions or comments for her? I'm seeing none. I have a resolution that reads that Council receives the activities report from Stratford Perth Archives for MSSC, and the Council approves the report for submission to the Municipal Shared Services meeting of September 18th, 2025. Moved by Councillor Kasenberg, second by Councillor Agats. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thanks again, Betty Jo. Moving on to 8.1.2, POA Court Services Report. Welcome, Vicki.
Good morning, Warden Kellum and members of Council. Today's report is an update on activities at the Provincial Offences Court Office until the end of June of this year. I'm just going to go over a few things from the report. Court services staff continue to schedule early resolution meetings and trials. There have been a total of 9 Blitz court dates provided through the Regional Senior Justice of the Peace Office, which are in addition to the regular court schedule. The report shows the comparison for revenue, charges filed, pending caseload, and court appearances over the last 5 years to the current year. I will note that revenue is lower compared to last year, and please keep in mind that there were large fines all being collected in the first half of last year, which caused last year's revenue to appear unusually high. The revenue distribution is calculated based on actual fines paid and the location of each offense. And that does conclude my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Vicki, for your report. Council, any questions or comments for it this time? Seeing none, a resolution that reads that council receives the POA Court Services Report for MSSC and Operational Update Report, and the council approves the report for submission to the Municipal Shared Services Committee meeting of September 18th, 2025. Moved by Councillor Duncan, second by Councillor Wilhelm. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thanks again, Vicky. Moving on to 8.2, Paramedic Services, 8.2.1, the activity report, and I believe Mike is bringing this. Hello in person, Mike.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, yes.
Through the warden, this report is our MFSC mid-year report that goes to council once a year and then to MSSC subsequently. So we'll be looking for approval to bring council on September the 18th. And I will just highlight a couple of things in terms of our call volume statistics. We once again are looking at more calls this year than last, just up slightly. And then if you look at our response time targets, so that's our Canadian Triage Acuity Scale targets that council has set years ago. We've maintained each of the years. We are meeting all targets this time. I just remind council that there's a low number of calls in things like our VSA, which is vital signs absence, and CTAS1 call. Like from a sample size, we have a small number of those calls, so that does fluctuate, but we are meeting them at this time. A couple other things to highlight is that, and really of note, is that we've dramatically reduced the offload delay in partnership with the Healthcare Alliance here in Perth Healthcare Alliance here in Stratford. And a lot of that is attributed to the good work that hospital is doing, as well as the province's offload delay funds that were approved for last fiscal year. And we're hoping that to hear an announcement in the very near future with respect to those funds this year so that we can restart that program and then keep it moving forward because it certainly did make a difference during flu season last year. And we're hoping to be able to do the same in the very near future. Aside from that, you'll note that in Listowel Wingham Healthcare System, we are seeing a spike in time that we're spending in the hospital there. And we're on a trajectory to double the time that we spent in the hospital last year to this year. So we are working with them to see if there's any solutions up in that hospital that we can implement to reduce that. Aside from that, we have 4 paramedics this year that will be going to the OAPC, the Paramedic Chiefs Awards Banquet, and receiving an EMS Exemplary Service Medal, which is a federal medal for exemplary service. So we're really pleased about that. And we continue to work on our future planning and looking at where ambulance stations and those types of things should be placed in Listowel. And that's about it. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Good. Thank you for your report, Mike. Is there comments? Councillor Kasenberg.
Are there best practices or learnings from the experience with your Healthcare Alliance that could be applied in Listowel with the Listowel Wingham Hospital Alliance?
Absolutely, there'd be an opportunity for them to learn from the partners and see what the types of things that the Healthcare Alliance is, what the Healthcare Alliance is doing. The other thing is we could look at applying. It won't be for this year, but for the following year for funding for the offload, dedicated offload nursing program. Having said that, because it's there's less volume and those types of things, there may be some opportunities for them to learn from the 2 hospitals. Yeah, but we will gently present what we've learned from the one to the other for sure.
Thank you for the question. Anyone else? Seeing none, I have a resolution that council receives the Paramedic Services Activity Report, Municipal Shared Services MSSC Report, and that council approves the Paramedic Service Activity Report, Municipal Shared Services MSSC Report to be presented at the September 18th, 2025 MSSC meeting, and moved by Councillor Orr, second by Councillor McDermott. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thanks again, Mike. On our agenda, 0.2.2, social prescribing grant program development and implementation. Who is? Mike again. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I'll do that report. I know that, our deputy wrote that, Debbie Hunter. So through the warden, we applied with some other Medivie Health Service organizations for a $30,000 grant for social prescribing. And social prescribing is it relates to the community paramedic program, but we're going to be able to go into individual with this money. We're going to be able to go into individuals' homes and work with those individuals to make sure that they're not isolated. So we're finding, science is finding that, when you, it might be something as simple as helping the person go down the pathway of going to bingo or going to a chess game or connecting with other individuals so that they're not living in isolation. And so most of our population in this case is the aging population, seniors. And so we are going to, we would like to be able to use this money and this revenue and to implement a social prescribing program where paramedics can go in and make recommendations and make those, I'll say wishes or make those things happen in the community. And so we are seeking direction today to spend that money that we've received through a federal grant.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Any questions on this item? Seeing none, a resolution that council receives the social prescribing grant, program development and implementation report, and the council directs staff to proceed with the implementation of the social prescribing initiative using the $30,000 grant received from Healthcare Excellence Canada. Moved by Councilor Kasenberg, second by Deputy Warden Trentowski. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you again. On in our agenda, we're on the Public Works. So this is where our road tour takes place. Resolution that reads that council extend regular council meeting until such time that the facilities and road tour are completed. Moved by Councilor Wilhelm, second by Councilor McKenzie. All those in favor? And that is carried. And then finally, the council relax the rules of council during the facilities and road tour. Moved by Councilor McDermott, second by Councilor Smith. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you.